Hey, what's going up, guys? This is Dapper Doughboy, and I'm going to bring you a video today showcasing my impression for George Company, 3rd Battalion, 505th, 82nd Airborne during World War II, in particular D-Day and the immediate post-battles like the Breakout, D-Day plus 10, stuff like that. So, without further ado, I will give you a little look at my impression. Starting from head to toe, I'm wearing a fixed bail front seam M1 helmet with an M1C paratrooper liner with the attached A-frame yokes on either side and chin cup. Now for the netting, I'm using a British pattern netting on here, which is the OD green netting with a 1/4 inch spaces between it. And the 82nd Airborne was known for wearing this instead of the larger 1 inch netting that was found more commonly in the different units. And also I have the cannonballs on each side of the helmet, and it's kind of a little disputed what markings were on the sides of the helmet for 82nd Airborne, but for 3rd Battalion, if you go with the cannonball, you can't go wrong, especially if you're doing an earlier Sicily or Italy impression. Now, moving down, I have the Paratrooper Scarf that was cut from a cargo net from the 1950s, don't tell anybody. And I also have the mustard wool shirt they wore underneath it, along with a white t-shirt. And you could also find OD green tank tops or common undergarments to wear and stuff like that. And I have the reinforced M42 jacket with these sewn on canvas reinforcements, along with the canvas reinforcements on the lower pockets. I have the 82nd Airborne insignia sewn on right here, along with the 48 star flag. Now the 82nd Airborne did sew on flags during Normandy for unit identification and identifying friend from foe, stuff like that. Now, since I'm doing a medic impression, I have the Red Cross medic arm brassard that was worn by all medics. And you might be noticing why my helmet does not have a Red Cross on it. Well, that's because in most airborne units, if it wasn't a medical battalion attached, they would not have the Red Cross on their helmets because they were supposed to be with frontline troops fighting on the front lines. They didn't want their Red Crosses on their helmets to give away the positions of the men fighting next to them. This would be sufficient identification for medics should the need arise. Yeah, I have the M36 webbing right here, suspenders. Let me get rid of the helmet really quick. I have the suspenders along with the belt and M36 musette bag. Now, I can flip this in front. This is the M36 musette bag, and attached to it, I have the appropriate paratrooper letdown rope they would have had in case they were get stuck into trees, buildings, stuff of that nature. They would have let it down and hopefully used it to climb down from their high point. Let me get this off. This is the medic bag, and you would be issued in pairs, so that you'd have one of these and another one identical. They'd also have different inserts. One would be for pill vials and the other one would be for different things and such like that. I will do a separate video on the contents of this along with the rest of my medical equipment, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, so airborne medics would only use one of these bags and wear it attached to their pistol belt or a GP strap or a litter strap. Because the way it was issued, they'd have 2 of these plus wide medic yoke straps, and that was deemed too cumbersome for airborne troops, so they got rid of that and just used one bag. Airborne units were also issued with paratrooper first aid packets and kits, which is illustrated here and here. Usually you'd only be issued with one, but since I'm going for a medic impression, they were usually pretty good at scrounging extra ones. So I have one attached here on the suspenders, and one attached here right above the first aid packet pouch. And the contents of this would be a small Carlisle bandage, a tourniquet, and a morphine syringe, along with a little first aid card that would tell you what to do in the event of major wounds. And it's made of simple canvas with notches on each end. You can just tear open and you're good to go. I also have a medic first aid pouch right here with a Carlisle bandage inside it. This This is an original Carlisle bandage, so it's never been opened. Moving along, I have 2 canteens. Usually you'd only carry one, but medics were famous for carrying a second one so they could give water to the wounded. So I have those right here, along with an M43 entrenching tool and entrenching tool pouch, one on this side. As you could probably see on my leg, I have the Army Assault Gas Mask bag that was worn by airborne troops and D-Day assault troops to carry the assault gas mask. That was because when they invaded Normandy and Europe in general, they were figuring that Hitler would resort to anything and use poison gas warfare. And the Allies being afraid and nervous because World War I was primarily focusing on chemical weapons and stuff like that, along with artillery, machine guns, they were prepared for anything. And it was realized that soon afterwards they would not need gas masks. So a lot of people, if they did not ditch the entire bag, just ditched the mask itself and filled the bag with other necessities that they wanted to keep dry, whether it be ammunition or stuff of that nature. I, however, in mine, I carry a modern day trauma kit with tourniquet and compression bandages, combat gauze, everything in there that I would need in the advent of a real wound, because crazy stuff has happened at reenactments, and I don't know when somebody's going to slip up and accidentally feed a live round to their gun and shoot it to somebody, so prepare for anything. I'm EMT qualified, along with probably taking about 100 CLS classes for the Army, so good to go. Alrighty, and now we're going to move on to the lower legs. Alright, so on the lower legs here, I have the pants. They're also M42 reinforced paratrooper pants. And here's a historical inaccuracy. I do have the 101st leg ties on these pants instead of the 82nd ones, which were folded canvas and sewn as opposed to these webbing leg ties. They will be fixed in the future, don't worry. As you can see, they have the reinforced lower pockets. And for the footwear, I have paratrooper jump boots. Now, unfortunately, Corcoran does not make my size in the historic brown leather ones because I wear a 12.5 regular for black jump boots that I wear with dress uniforms and stuff like that, and they don't make half sizes 12 and up. So that sucks. These ones are at the front jump boots from like 2010. They do have new patterns that are made in the USA and much better, but this is what I had on hand, and they have seen better days. And also they were treated with Hubert's shoe grease, this stuff, along with a bunch of different polishes, so they no longer retain their shine, unfortunately. So that's the downside of dubbing your chrome leather boots. There we have that. And pockets were usually filled with different stuff like spare bandages, stuff like that, and what have you, just randomness. And this uniform in particular has been treated with a replica CC2 anti-gas coating. I did that myself using otter wax, paraffin wax, and also petroleum jelly for the hard to reach spots. So that's what gives this uniform its darker color. It also beads up in the corners right here, giving a little white waxy coating, which they would have used, and it would have looked like that. That's all about the historical accuracy. As you look at the lower pockets and the lower part of this impression. Now, medics would have had the M2 Switchblade or M3 Trench Knife, and there's accounts of medics that were getting ready to be captured would ditch that, and they would ditch anything else that would resemble a weapon, just so they wouldn't be construed as a combatant as opposed to a non-combatant. So I don't have one of those right now, but in the future I might look into getting one of those. There you have it. Okay, and to finish off the video is the Garrison Caps, which look really nice, especially if you wear them right. And me doing a medic impression, I went with this Garrison Cap, which had the medical piping on it, which is maroon and white, as opposed to the infantry Garrison Cap, which is infantry blue, coincidentally. And there were two types. There was the commonly known as PX Garrison Cap that was cut straight and square on the top, And there was also this Garrison Cap, which is the issued Garrison Cap, which has folds on the top and it was more rounded. They both look equally as sharp if you wear them right, but I just prefer the PX type, even though I'm wearing the medical piping. Here's a closer look at these. Medical piping, combined airborne patch sewn on. 82nd would have gotten the combined airborne patch sometime during the Italy campaign. That's why you don't see them rocking just the regular blue patch with the airborne parachute on it. And the infantry blue Garrison Cap. There you are. And one more thing about George Company 505th. The 505th did not wear gas brassards while they invaded Normandy. They used anti-gas paint or gas reactive paint from vehicles and stuff like that, and they would have painted their left cuff. Now I don't have this one painted just because I'm having a hard time paint matching paint to resemble actual CC2, well not CC2, but gas detection paint. So when I do that, I will get back to you and show you what it looks like. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video, and if you have any tips or constructive criticism, insert it down below in the comments and I will read them and respond. Thank you guys for watching. This is Dapper Doughboy.